expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to The Gift of Life with Gregg. I'm your host, Gregg Francis, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Barry Kaplan. We save lives, plain and simple. Have you known someone stricken with leukemia? Has a family member of yours suffered from lymphoma? Then turn up your dial. This show is for you. We are the gift providing a second life. We are the gift of life. Since 1999, we've saved over 2,700 lives. For many patients with blood cancer, bone marrow donation is often their last hope, and that's where we come in. We try hard at what we do, but we will never be satisfied until we can say, one day, we found a match anytime, anywhere, for anyone. That's the gift of life way. So now we have the scissors, we've opened the box, and now it's time to unwrap the gift of life.
Hello everyone, and a happy February 24th, 2015. Welcome to our show. Hope everybody really had a wonderful week. Last week's show recapped what tools and tips should be utilized when writing resumes and or when you interview. Marty had a lot of good tips, and that propelled a lot of further tweets, emails, other types of correspondence. We received such tremendous response that we brought in another expert in resumes, Mr. David Rapport. David will be joining us later today, and to boot, he has a wonderful British accent that I'm jealous of, so we're going to be meeting Mr. Rapport a little bit later on in the show. For those of you who tuned in last week, you know that September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. I know it's almost March. However, only creating awareness for 1 month will not solve the blood cancer epidemic. So we will continue to spread the word, and we ask our listeners to please do the same. Pacific Islanders are having a tough time. Hispanic people are underrepresented. Asian people are underrepresented. Our African American friends are underrepresented. And last Wednesday, I had a lovely time. I was at a Haitian American club at Florida Atlantic University. Danced a little bit, played a game called Breaking the Ice. But most importantly, I was able to spread the word to an underrepresented community. And they were extremely receptive, and I really hope that they join our Gift of Life family. Again, for the KK Club, thank you so much for receiving Gift of Life. Minority groups affected that I just mentioned, they're suffering the consequences of people not swabbing, and frankly, not having the knowledge to traverse the waters of how to recruit bone marrow donors. Patients suffering from these aforementioned ethnicities will find a match less than 50% of the time. Let's put it in layperson's terms, and let's be as unfortunately graphic as we have to. Over 50% of the time, people from these ethnicities that are suffering from blood cancer that cannot find a match in their family will die. That's why we all have to get together, become involved. We can't let somebody die because there's not a match. It's unacceptable, and we have to work harder. If you want to get involved in running a drive, if you want to see how you could help any community, any ethnicity, we're all one people, please call Bridget, Nathan, or Frederick at 1-800-9-MARROW to get information on how you could get involved. They're waiting here during this show from 4 to 5. Again, it's 1-800-9-MARROW. For those of the quantitative sort, it's 1-800-962-7769. For those of you who have been our supporters, welcome back this week. It's quite nice. It's about 82 degrees. It's rather nice for the rest of the country that's listening. Welcome back, and we thank you for all that you've done to spread awareness and transpire action for our show, and more importantly, for our cause. Because of you, we are ranked the #1 radio show on 1470 WWNN, our flagship station, as well as being the #1 bone marrow radio show worldwide. And David Rapport is looking in astonishment because there is more than one. As previously mentioned, thanks to you, our supporters, our show is going to be syndicated in 6 major cities by the second week of March. So what does that mean? More awareness, more people swabbing, more contributions, and the culmination of your help will equal more lives being saved. In 2014 alone, Gift of Life saved 130 lives, and not only the patients, but their loved ones, family members. Really a phenomenal accomplishment, bringing our total to date to just about 3,000, which we're going to break in 2015. Congratulations, team. Congratulations to our listeners. Without a collective effort, we could never have made this happen. As we started new in 2015, most people have New Year's resolutions, and this show is not unique. I want to touch upon Arlene Feinberg, the matriarch of Gift of Life, who unfortunately passed away in January of 2014. Arlene had a vision. Her vision was to find a match anytime, anywhere, for anyone that is suffering from blood cancer. In 2015, Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty, our goal is to make Arlene's vision Arlene's reality. For those people who are tuning in for the first time, hop on board. We're so glad that you could join us for Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty. I'm Gregg Francis. Welcome to our show. And we encourage all of our listeners to call in today anytime at 1-888-565-1470. Again, that's 1-888-565-1470. We broadcast live from Boca Raton, Florida, and mentioned before it's about 82 degrees and sunny. Every Tuesday evening between 4 and 5 p.m. here on our flagship station, WWNN 1470. What exactly is Gift of Life if you're joining us for the first time? It's a life-saving nonprofit that gives patients like our 7-year-old friend Sammy, who I recently saw, a second chance at life. We have to work together to do this because there are many children, Sammy and many others, that are needlessly dying. We have to get involved, people of all ethnicities, to help one another. And with that being said, if you're somebody that's not suffering from blood cancer, we want to remind everybody how special life is, how every day of health and happiness is a true gift of life. Please take stock of what I'm saying. Every day of health and happiness is a true gift of life. Now, as a staple of this show, before I go any further, I have to thank my own gifts of life. People who make me smile every day and remind me of how lucky I am. To undoubtedly my biggest fan here in Florida, my mom, Katie, I believe is listening on the radio today in Lake Worth. Mom, I love you. To my biggest Maryland fans, hello and thank you, Grandma Margie, who is listening in Owings Mills, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore. And Billy Beagle, who is listening in Rockville, and he is our chairman of the board. He's a walking Gift of Life ambassador in states, countries, and continents. Bill, thank you for all that you've done. And to my 2 boys who are my gifts of life, Nicholas, who is 12, and Patrick, who is 8. Nicholas's soccer team, they won their division, so congratulations, Hawks. And Patrick plays on the Gift of Life sponsored soccer team, and they had a 3-0 beautiful game. It was the last game of the season. They played phenomenal. Boys, I loved coaching each and every one of you and continue to play soccer. Or since we have Mr. Rapport from Britain in the room, keep playing football. So, as mentioned, our co-host for 2015 is my dear friend Marty Freund. Marty stewards all the walks that we have, which includes, for one person, there's a lot, Boca Raton, New York, New Jersey, the capital region, which consists of Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Virginia. And new to our repertoire this year is Massachusetts. She also brings a wealth of experience to and for the Gift of Life community. She's very much involved in community relations and community engagement. And Marty, it's great. You're becoming a veteran at this. So welcome aboard. Welcome again, David Rapport. And Marty, we'll switch it up this week. I know that we had an event at Meisner Country Club.
Yep, on Sunday, Gift of Life was the beneficiary of the Twilight Golf event that happened at Meisner, which was very exciting. It was the second year in a row that Gift of Life got to benefit. Very exciting, David. Yeah. And there were about 80 people in attendance. The Twilight Golf was followed by a dinner and raffle. People there had the opportunity to purchase Jay Leno tickets, which are on sale through Gift of Life. You can find them on our website, giftoflife.org, under the events tab on the top. And again, tickets are $150, and Gift of Life receives 100% of the benefit of the 100 Gift of Life benefits 100% from the ticket sales.
Correct.
And again, great event at Meisner. I think we raised about $2,500.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And with the Jay Leno event, Marty, as you said, see a great show, and you could help save a life in the process.
Yeah, I hear Jay Leno's great in person. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to going. I know that I'm gonna hobble and play golf with you on Monday, and then Tuesday is the show at night. So it's gonna be, and I think the Atlantic City boys are opening up.
Can you do your best Jay Leno impression?
I could do some other impressions. that one I'll work at. That's a good challenge. I got caught off guard, but
maybe next week.
Next week. That's my homework for this week. How about you, David? Jay Leno impression.
It's my homework for next year.
All right, for next year. So
fair enough.
So the golf event the Meisner golf event, second year, fantastic, and thank you to the committee that put that event on for us twice.
Yep, it was Dana Zelaznik, Aberman, Wendy Schulman, and Donna Krasner all worked together with Larry, the manager over at Meisner. And again, another great event, and we hope to do it again in the future.
Yeah, and I really want to thank Dana, Donna, and Wendy. Not only do they chair this Meisner Country Club event, but they're also a committee for our Boca Walk.
Yep, so they did a Gift of Life doubleheader between the walk last month and the Meisner event this month.
And we are going to have more events in the Boca Raton, South Florida area. I believe that a bowling tournament's going to be coming up. And we listened to a lot of your responses, and more people want more events in South Florida.
Right, and don't forget March 26th over at the Lord & Taylor in Meisner Park. Shop Smart, Do Good. You can purchase a $5 savings pass, which gets you coupons to use at the store. So it basically pays for itself, and you can go shopping and support Gift of Life.
All righty. And so we had the golf event. We have our Boca West charity event that Gift of Life is going to be playing on March 30th. So that's going to be exciting. This will be the third year. I'm proud to say Gift of Life won in its inaugural year. It was a perfect storm for us. And the second year we did quite well also. So again,
pressure's on.
The pressure's on. We're playing, so we got to.
Yeah, Gregg just showed in today with a Velcro cast, so I'm not quite sure how Gift of Life's going to rank in the tournament, but
if they're counting on me, we're not going to be in that good shape anyway. But
you can putt.
Yeah, I can. We'll all have a good. It's about having a good time and about doing well for the children of the South Florida, especially Palm Beach community.
Yes.
So everybody wins.
And Gift of Life is very fortunate to be a beneficiary charity of the Boca West Foundation. So we're very appreciative.
Extremely. But definitely, if you want to see Jay Leno, I believe there's only 2,000 tickets. Hop on board. You could go on our website to purchase tickets. You could call up 1-800-9MARROW. We could take care of it that way. Mm-hmm. $150 per ticket. All $150 goes back to the Gift of Life, which will go towards aiding people in their fight against blood cancer. And Marty, I know that we mentioned this a few times before, but our first annual Boston Walk is coming up. It's right around the corner, actually.
Yeah, it is. It's a little, it's creeping up very quickly. We hope the snow will be all melted by April 26th.
It's a 50-50 proposition at this point.
Yeah, it'll be a first to do a walk for life in the snow, but I think we can handle anything. So again, it's going to be a great day where we honor donors and recipients, and a donor and recipient is going to meet that morning. So we're very, very excited and look forward to launching our website. Our website's going to be launched this week, and people are going to start signing up. It's going to be great.
It's right by Boston College, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's at the Chestnut Hill Reservoir.
Wonderful.
Right outside of BC.
All right, so our Eagle fans listening, because we have an ambassador that goes to Boston College, we expect all the Eagles to show up in fine fashion.
Yes, Michael will be leading the charge of BC students.
All right. So everybody, we have a lot of college students that go in the greater Massachusetts, Boston area. Please come on down. We're expecting you to show up. I guarantee it'll be a great event. And Marty, do you want to talk about the new launch of the Campus Ambassador Program going on this fall?
Sure. So, as you just said, we have a campus ambassador at BC. His name is Michael. Michael is one of 8 campus ambassadors that is part of Gift of Life's program. And Gift of Life thought that having campus ambassadors on different college campuses and university campuses would be such a great way to recruit donors that are of the age that we really are looking for, particularly the 18 to 25 age range.
Correct.
So donors that are the youngest are generally the healthiest, and it's been shown that patients who receive transplants from younger donors end up doing better in the long run. You got to think everybody wants those young, healthy cells.
Right.
So we are really focusing our recruitment efforts on that age group. Additionally, the 18 to 20-year-olds will be in the registry for so many years to come that it just increases their odds of saving a life exponentially. So the Campus Ambassador Program has different interns on college campuses to basically recruit their peers, run drives throughout the year with different groups on their campus, and also raise awareness and educate students about becoming a bone marrow donor, bone marrow or blood stem cell donor, why it's important, the different types of donation. Again, a lot of times people hear bone marrow and they start cringing, but in reality, 80% of the time is a peripheral blood stem cell transplant, and 20% of the time is a bone marrow donation. And so again, right now the program has 8 campus ambassadors, and it's looking to add many more.
You ever hear the expression "go big or go home"? Well,
Yeah.
we're going big for 2015-2016 university year, which will be starting in around August. We're going to be taking on 100 campus ambassadors, 100. So over 12 times the amount that we have now. I think, as Marty mentioned before, it really is going to hit our target market. We're going to recruit more strategically and hopefully save more lives. So very, very excited about the program.
And through our website, students can apply.
Yeah, there's going to be four
giftoflife.org.
rounds. Four rounds of interviews. So again, if you're interested in applying, please go to our website at www.giftoflife.org.
We'll also be posting information through social media. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, find us on Instagram. We're all over the place.
We're all over the place.
on
Amy
radio.
Glansman, if you're listening, thank you for coming on board. And again, if you want to call, it's 1-800-9-MARROW, 1-800-962-7769. And if you want to call the show today, it's 1-888-565-1470. In a moment, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we return, David Rapport, technical writer, he could give you advice on how to construct your resume. It's an anniversary for David with Gift of Life, so we're very excited to introduce our friend from by way of England to Israel to the United States. So as soon as we get back from our commercial break, David Rapport in studio. Thank you, and we'll be back on the other side.
ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that is considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment. He'll show you the right approach. And as a certified coach, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please contact Vince at throwitbetter@gmail.com and tell him that Gregg sent you. Again, that's throwitbetter@gmail.com, or call Vince at 954-541-54 888-565-4214.
We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Gregg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you. Welcome back to the Gift of Life with Gregg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
Hello and welcome back. Happy February 24th, 2015. Welcome to the Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty. And as promised, a technical writer, wonderful British accent from Israel, and we could get a raging round of applause for our special guest, David Rapport.
Thank you very much.
Oh wow! Our in studio audience. We never had a reception like this, but today we have. Wow! Wait,
who knew technical writing could be so exciting?
I never knew technical writing. We had pro sports athletes in here. Nobody ever got this type of response from a technical writer. So I know that, Marty, we had a segment last week on resumes and interviewing. So David, Marty and I were soliciting advice last week to what makes a standout resume, and the response from last week to this week has been overwhelming. As a technical writer, you shared with me that you assist people in resume preparation. What are some pointers that you could share with our listening audience? And welcome, Mr. David Rapport.
Hi, Gregg. Hi, Marty. I'm really excited to be here on this radio show, Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty.
I'm the afterthought.
Well,
we could do it, Marty and Gregg, next week.
But it's kind of Gift of Life with Gregg, kind of rolls off the tongue.
The alliteration.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've been helping people with resumes for quite a long time, and there's a huge amount out there on the web. You can go to LinkedIn, you can Google it, you can find advice everywhere, and I've just written down a few notes, and I'll share some of my top tips. We call them actually David's top 10 tips for standout resumes.
You like that alliteration, David?
Yeah. But we won't do 10. We'll do a few quick tips, and I really hope they'll be helpful for people. It doesn't matter if they're college students starting out, if they're applying to Gift of Life, if they're applying to be a Gift of Life campus ambassador,
right,
or whatever age you are, wherever you're needed to write a resume. You want to have a standout resume and not a sleep for the night resume, or a resume that will get you instantly rejected. So let's mention some specific tips. The first thing, as Gregg actually mentioned to me before, is spelling and grammar. You definitely want a resume that doesn't have any spelling or grammar errors. These are the type of careless errors that for a recruiter or for someone reviewing and reading, it's just an instant turnoff. If you think about a newspaper or a website or a printed novel, whatever you're reading, we've learned to expect certain standards, and absence of spelling and grammar errors and other types of English errors are given. And most of us hopefully have friends who can help us if we're a bit stuck, a bit unsure. But the people who didn't take the minimal effort to remove some of their most glaring and basic errors, then in the mind's eye of the recruiter, this person may not be the type of person to take care about doing their duties and their job and representing.
For me, it's an automatic rejection. It just cheapens the product. If you can't spell or you don't utilize spell check or any of the other dozen tools out there for spelling and grammar, and it comes in careless, it's probably the way you're going to do your work.
Yeah,
true.
And even for those whom it's not true at all, they're very good at their work. They're just not very good at resumes, which can happen. But you got to get through the door, and in the same way that you would put on interview clothing for an interview, correct spelling and grammar is the interview clothing of your resume.
Very good. Very well put, that. I like that.
Well, so made up on the spot. So,
I want to write that down. I may steal that.
yeah, okay. I'll send you my PayPal account for the royalties. I'm being serious.
Yeah, no, any other tips that you have, because
Yeah.
they're waiting with bated breath.
Okay. So your resume starts off with your name at the top. And here, I think there are two things. One, there's no need to write resume, curriculum vitae. We know from the style, we know from the situation what it is. It's just a waste of a line, unless you're a college student and you actually have nothing to say. So you need to beef it up with meaningless things like, or a big title. But essentially, you want to have the title is your name, and you want that to be slightly larger because you want to stand out, obviously not too brash. And next to your name, or right underneath it, you want your title, because recruiters are reviewing resumes for potentially dozens of different positions, and for everyone that I'm looking at, I want to know, what is this person? They think that they responded to College Ambassador, but we're also reviewing resumes for recruitment associates and for donor services associates, whatever it may be. So help me, the recruiter, by telling me what the position is you're actually applying for. So if your name is Bob Jones and underneath you write College Ambassador, or Bob Jones, College Ambassador, then we know instantly what this resume is for, and it helps the recruiter to know what this person has applied for and what this resume is for.
David, are you a fan of cover letters to accompany the resume?
I am, yeah. Again, it helps you stand out a little bit. It shows you know how to write a letter. It gives you the opportunity to say how you found out about this position, which could be interesting to the recruiter. And it gives you an extra couple of lines. You know, these days people are writing shorter letters rather than longer letters, but it gives you an extra couple of lines to say something about yourself, about the company, show you've researched it so you know what's going on.
Yeah, Marty and I were laughing last week. We had a couple of cover letters that were more like dating profiles than occupational searches. So it was we've definitely hit the gamut.
Yep. So at the beginning, you want to have your name and what it is you're applying for. Underneath that, you want to have what I call, again, a bit more alliteration here, a seeking statement, which is what you are seeking to do here, or what you're seeking to do in, not necessarily in life, but in how it relates to the position you're applying for. So if you're applying to be, I guess we're stuck with campus ambassadors. You're applying to be a campus ambassador, so you want to tell the person a 1 to 2 line statement about why you think this is for you within the bounds of your resume. So you want to say, seeking to augment my college studies by some volunteer work with a worthy organization, something like that, to show that you're not just a series of bullet points, which is the main part of a resume, but you also have a little bit of creativity and thought about what this position it is that you're applying for.
All right, that is That is quite interesting. And then, again, I love that line that spelling and grammar is the dressing of a resume.
Yep.
That was, really do like that line. So we mentioned, David, in your introduction, which you got a rousing double round of applause. What exactly is a technical writer?
A technical writer is it's a Western position generated by mostly by the computer industry, but not necessarily. You have products. You could take the manual that comes with a car. It could be the technical manual which lists all the parts of the engine, of the motor, the people who are real enthusiasts who need to know exactly where everything is, with all the illustrations. You also have the manual which goes to the owner's manual. You need to know how much air to put in your tire, how to switch the lights, and with complicated dashboards, you need someone to tell you a little bit about where to find how to turn the lights on, where the horn is. You don't need a horn in America. Everybody's very polite. But
that's the most important feature.
Yeah, well, at least in Florida. Apparently, New York is a bit different. And so the person who writes these manuals is a technical writer. So with the huge increase in information technology, in hardware products, in software products, so the person who writes the online help for a software product is a technical writer. And let's say you take IKEA furniture, so there's no words there, but the person who does the drawings is a technical illustrator. And this whole series of jobs, there's a fairly wide range of what technical writers do, but the main bread and butter is writing a user guide or a user manual or administrator's guide for a service or product.
Let me ask you a question, and this may be contrarian. You would think that English majors or somebody with an English journalism background, but do you have a lot of mathematicians and engineers that become technical writers?
You can have, I studied mathematics, and
just because of the detail-oriented of the equations.
Right, you have to be, there are a number of qualities that a technical writer needs. One is certainly to be detail-oriented, and another, which actually takes us back to resumes, is to be thinking about the reader and not the writer. I may see a particular product, and there may be one aspect that really interests me that I think is very important, but for the average user, it's actually just a minor feature and not really very interesting to other people. And to compare that to resumes, a pitfall for a lot of people is they take some award that they got or a particular aspect of a job that they did, which they're very proud of, and but when you explain it to someone else, it actually isn't very interesting to other people. So you have to be, when you're writing your resume, you have to be thinking about the reader and not the writer. It's very easy for us when we're talking and writing about ourselves to emphasize the things which we think are important, but a technical writer and a resume writer has to think primarily about the reader and the user, and to seek out what is interesting to them and not what is interesting to me.
So let me pose a question to you. You're writing for the benefit of the end user. So let's say, for example, it's installing a car radio or something of that nature. Do you have people actually test it out using your instructions before it goes live?
That's a very good question. Ideally, of course, you would. But in a lot of situations, you don't have, or companies and clients of mine do not always have the resources to have someone else test and give in-depth feedback. I would love for that to happen. Obviously, I test myself to the best of my ability, and I always try and find an ally inside the organization who will do that. But sometimes the time crunch reality is that the onus is on me to
no beta, you're going straight live
to get it right. And ideally you have a proper review process. In the Gift of Life, we do have a very structured review and approval process. But in other environments, that doesn't always pan out.
So you gave a wonderful segue, we were talking about for the end users, for probably a for-profit corporation, whether it be automobiles, whether it be electronics. How did you come to be the technical writer of a nonprofit? And happy close 10-year anniversary. I know it's around this month.
10 years.
10
thank
years.
you.
That deserves another round of applause.
Go ahead.
You start, I'll pull it up.
Okay. It was approximately April. I at my age, I don't like talking about things that were more than 5 years ago, but it would have been April 2005. A friend of mine saw an advert on a bulletin board, and obviously an email bulletin board, that someone was looking for a technical writer, and he forwarded it to me. I responded, and that was very close to 10 years ago.
So what exactly, for our listening audience, because Marty and I have an idea, what are your principal duties as a technical writer for the Gift of Life?
The reason that the Gift of Life, which is a non-profit organization, requires a technical writer is that we are regulated. That is one of the primary reasons. And what this means, well, first of all, why are we regulated? We are regulated because we're taking a perfectly healthy person, the healthy donor, who is willing to give their bone marrow or stem cells. And even though we stress that certainly the stem cell procedure is really relatively minor, and bone marrow, while it requires anesthesia, is still fairly, it's invasive, but it's not. It's nowhere near as invasive as many operations, but it is under anesthesia, and it still does involve a medical procedure. So as much as we stress that, we still need to make sure that our donors are healthy. This means that we have to screen them carefully in order to defer the donors who are not appropriate to undergo these relatively minor procedures. And there are still people for whom anesthesia is a higher risk, people who've had, if it's going to be a bone marrow transplant, then they're going to need the procedure in their hip and in their lower back. And there are many, you can find them on our website, and I think it's preliminary guidelines or preliminary health guidelines. Sure. Many people, for a whole load of reasons, that donating would not be good for them. So we're taking a healthy person, and we want them to undergo a procedure, and we want them to give their cells to a very sick patient. So we have to protect both the donor and the patient. We protect the donor by ensuring that they're going to be healthy enough, that they are healthy enough, they don't have any contraindications, and that the procedure will not harm them in any way. And we have to ensure that they primarily do not give any infectious diseases to the patient who is very sick. And any other condition that they may have, we have to ensure that the patient is not going to be worse off than they are right now. So this ensures that a bone marrow registry and donor center is regulated by the FDA, and the World Marrow Donor Association.
So what you do is develop the standard operating procedures and formalize it?
Right. So the FDA has a lot of guidance. The World Marrow Donors Association, WMDA, and in America, the National Marrow Donor Program, the NMDP. These organizations have standards and guidance documents to tell us how to operate, with the principal goal of ensuring the well-being and the care of the donor and the patient. So in order to make sure that we comply with all of these regulations, we have to formulate standard operating procedures and policies that describe in a very detailed and precise way to our staff at all levels, for those who are familiar, at recruitment, at confirmatory typing, at workup, follow-up, for the whole life cycle of a donor with us. We have to describe very precisely what it is that the staff do. And this is obviously there's two functions, so that the staff know what they need to do, and secondly, that we can ensure that everybody is performing their tasks in a uniform way, in a way that conforms with the regulations, And when we have an inspector or an auditor come in, they can read our documents and they can see that we are fulfilling our role as we should be.
That's extremely well said. That's extremely well said. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll go over more about technical writing, and also we have Marty and David have marathons in common, and we'll discuss that when we get back after this short break. Please stay tuned for Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty.
Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Gregg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you.
ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that is considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment. He'll show you the right approach. And as a certified coach, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please contact Vince at throwitbetter@gmail.com and tell him that Gregg sent you. Again, that's throwitbetter@gmail.com, or call Vince at 954-541-5414.
We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Welcome back to the Gift of Life with Gregg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
Happy Tuesday, February the 24th, 2015, Gift of Life with Gregg and Marty. And in studio today, who got a double rousing round of applause, is Mr. David Rapport, once a mathematician and now a technical writer for Gift of Life, and he's been in this position for 10 years. And Marty, I know that you had some questions, and we just received a tweet, I believe.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions for you. One, I know Gregg said you started, or you were a mathematician major, and now you worked your way into technical writing. How'd you do that?
Well, just one minor correction. I wouldn't say I'm a mathematician. I
say
studied
it, it's okay.
mathematics.
No one's judging.
It was a minor. But,
what was your major?
The major was Jewish history.
All right.
And then a master's in business after that. But it would be wrong to call me a mathematician.
Nah,
That's
all right. He minored in mathematics, has an MBA, and a major in Jewish history.
So how did I get into it? Well, you need to get a job after you eventually stop studying.
Yes.
And,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
and technical writing was a booming field in Israel with all the high tech over there. And there were and are many positions available. So at one point, when I was looking for work, the truth is I agreed to do it temporarily part-time for someone. And as everybody knows, that ain't, how'd it go?
Man, Catherine tried it.
That ain't as permanent as temporary, something like that. That many temporary things end up becoming permanent. So that is how I did it. But how did I how was I able to become a technical writer? What I often say is that I was one of the last people in England to get a proper education. Today, as everybody knows, it's all modules and group projects and praise, and you've got to be careful not to upset anybody, which some people think may lead to mediocrity or worse. But I always think of our exams in world history, the exam which was called the O-level then, which kind of dates me because they're called GCSEs now.
Yes,
and,
but the 06s and the
So for history, you study history for 2 years, and then you have one exam of 2.5 hours, and you have to write 5 essays in 2.5 hours. So if you're going to write an essay every half hour 5 times over, presumably somebody was teaching you how to write clearly, succinctly, and to think and to write. So I always think of that as something which gave me the ability to write well, and hopefully to write well. And you also, in technical writing, you need some understanding of software, hardware, technical elements. You need either generally it's going to be Word, though there are other similar tools for technical writers. So you need some high-level understanding of these tools, and I just kind of fell into that. I didn't attempt to do it. It just came.
Is it in Britain? Do they call it sixth form or the?
Well, again, that's dating. It was the sixth form. The last 2 years of school were the lower sixth
and the upper sixth. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Today they use such modern terms as year 12 and
some of the preparatory schools in the United States, they still use lower sixth and upper sixth for 11th grade and 12th grade.
Okay, so tell them that things have moved on in England.
They got to move on accordingly.
Yeah. So you need to be able to use the tools. If it's tools to create online help, to create things for the web, Adobe Acrobat, there's a whole load of software tools out there. And a good technical writer is going to be able to use them well. For example, one of the things which we did last year, or was it the year before, was resubmit our application to the World Marrow Donor Association, and that's a huge amount of Word in Microsoft Word, and we were investigating, and also in Acrobat, and there were just so many issues that come up. Little technical issues that if you're not familiar with the software, it's going to be a much bigger challenge for you to do these things. And a final thing, which again takes us back to resumes, is formatting. It's understanding fonts, understanding page layout, and choosing appropriate layouts and so on to make the document look the way it should, crisp, clear, and useful to the user. So these are all things which I kind of picked up. Funnily enough, much of what I learned about, let's say, fonts and formatting was from the friend of mine who actually sent me the email about the Gift of Life looking for a technical writer. Just by coincidence, he saw the email, and but his name is Raphael Freeman. He's a Facebook friend of mine, among other things. He and I share the same birthday, 22nd of February, which was 2 days ago.
Happy birthday, David.
Thank you. And he's into electronic publishing, and before that into print, and he's an expert in fonts, typography, layout, and so on. So I learned a lot from him. And so it was a combination of skills that enabled me to get into this field, and hopefully
had one question, and had one question, and I wanted to see if this is transferable around the country. Have you seen more people gravitating towards the one-page document as opposed to, as you said, you wrote 5 essays. I know they're preaching in American graduate schools, less is more. The one-page document. I don't know if that's the same with technical writing as well.
Less is more is definitely true. When you bought Microsoft Word 10 years ago, you got this nice thick 300-page manual. Today, you get 0 manual. And so everything we do is certainly to be as concise as possible and to write as little as we can to get the point across. Whereas in the olden days, you have these huge IBM binders, but no more.
So what's your favorite font?
Well,
Cambria 10.
Well, what I used for manuals for my clients when I was writing user manuals a lot more in the olden days was a combination of a font called Palisade for the body text, and for the headings,
Wingdings.
I can't remember what it was called. It begins with a C.
Courier?
I can't remember. No. It was.
Why do you laugh at my Courier? That's a good font.
It is. It's a lovely font. It's a lovely font.
And but I use two specialty fonts. But today I mostly use for regular documents Calibri, which is the font that Microsoft came up with in 2000.
That's what I meant. No, Calibri, yeah.
Which I think it's a great font. It's very versatile. It's very easy on the eye. And
I didn't know that was only around since 2007.
Yep.
Yeah. Not
before
only
that-
getting technical writing, but aesthetics on writing as well.
Yeah.
A man of many talents. One thing that you have in common, and Marty mentioned this on last show, things that you did not know about Marty Freund. And Marty, I believe that you're a marathon runner.
Former, yep, back in my heyday. Did some marathons.
And we have any marathons on the horizon?
Actually, David is organizing the upcoming Team Gift of Life for the Jerusalem Marathon.
March the 13th, Friday, March the 13th, in Jerusalem. There is a huge marathon event. It's a combination of events like they are these days. Marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K, family run. I think that you go about 10 yards or something like that. And
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So these events, there's another one in Tel Aviv around about the same time, and these events are attracting 15 to 20,000 people.
Wow.
And the Kenyans come, and they're professional runners, and their job or their livelihood depends on them running in these races and winning together and getting sponsorship as well. Anyway, but we're of course doing it for fun. I'm a former half marathoner. I did it once when I was relatively young, and got it out of my system. Opposed to some of my friends these days who they never ran a half marathon, so they feel they've got to do it. But I got rid of that early on. So I'm a 10K runner. I've been doing it, the Jerusalem Marathon, and some other events for a number of years.
So that's about six miles. 6 miles.
Yeah. And so last year we put together Team Gift of Life. We have on Facebook. Please like our page. It's Run for Life. If you put in Run for Life, Gift of Life, Jerusalem Marathon, stuff like that, you should be able to find us. And Run for Life spelled, of course, RUN, the number 4, Life. And we have a team of about 20 runners. And right now we've raised $4,500.
Wonderful.
Which will pay for testing of over 70 new runners. And I really love to get the same $12,000 we managed to raise last year. I'm not sure we're going to get there, but it's still very rewarding and running for life.
So what do runners receive by joining Team Gift of Life? A T-shirt?
Of course.
T-shirt, all right.
A royal blue T-shirt designed by Maritza, Gift of Life's very talented in-house graphic designer.
A shout out to Maritza Lopez. Maritza, great job.
And of course, I'm going to be taking back with me for our runners. We hope if Gregg, who happens to be with me right now, our Helena has asked for a small budget so we can have.
Yes, I did get in the email, and being that we're on air, yes, I am going to fulfill my commitment with.
Way to put the fire on while you're on the air.
Helena, thank David. If you're listening, you're going to get your budget, and we can't
so what does
thank
that
you
mean?
enough
Follow
for
the budget.
Well, so last year we had a very big. I say very big. I think we had 50 to 100 people coming it was mostly the volunteers who help in Gift of Life donor drives in Israel. And we had a donor recipient meeting, which is always very moving. And we had a magician, and we had catering. It was a very good event. And just in case I send the link to a friend of mine, Isaac Hassan, he provided the premises where we had it free of charge, and we're still very grateful for that. But this year we're going to have something much smaller for the runners. It'll be a supper at a restaurant, something like that. And Marty will be giving me silicone bracelets to take back, and some other Gift of Life branded goodies to give to the runners as an expression of appreciation.
Fantastic. Ken on the other side of the glass gave us the 2-minute warning. So again, David, I cannot thank you enough for giving us technical writing tips, resume writing tips, aesthetics, fonts, and also stewarding this marathon, which you will get the budget for. If you listen to Marty in the beginning of the show, we have a walk coming up April the 26th at the Chestnut Hill Reservoir. Very exciting. We just finished the Meisner Twilight Golf second year. Thank you, Dana, Donna, and Wendy. March 31st, Jay Leno tickets. How could you get them? Please go to our website at www.giftoflife.org and or call up 1-800-9-MARROW. Tickets are $150 each. However, all the money goes back to Gift of Life, so you'll see a great show and help save lives. Marty and I are going to be going as well, so if you're a show listener, please seek us out. And a really, really great show. The music is getting cued, so that means that we're not going to see everybody until next week. Again, David, thank you. Again, our listening audience, thank you.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Everybody, listen, have a great week. Enjoy the Gift of Life, and God bless you all.
Thanks for tuning in to The Gift of Life with Gregg. I wanted to personally say thank you to everyone who participated in today's show. And I also wanted to let you know if that you're interested in what we do here at The Gift of Life, please call 1-800-9-MARROW. That's 1-800-9-MARROW. Or you can visit our website at www.giftoflife.org. Again, that's www.giftoflife.org. Even though we're wrapping up our show today, remember, you must always unwrap the gift of life.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of